Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. Today's video is more of a discussion about ships and shipbuilding. I think we can all agree, or at least acknowledge, that shipbuilding is one of the better, if not the best aspect of Starfield. It always amazes me how creative the Starfield community can be. One quick browse through Reddit will show you all the awesome builds players have come up with, not to mention YouTubers like Wise Old Wizard, Ship Technician, and Dr. Shoots. The variety of ships that you can build is absolutely amazing. Now that being said, there's always room for improvement. And it's my hope that Bathesda recognizes just how much people love the shipbuilder and expand on it with probably a DLC or an update specifically aimed at the shipbuilder. So with that in mind, here are my top things I want to see in a shipbuilder DLC. Now, I realize some of these things are already available in mods, but they should be included in the stock game. So number one is Customizable Habs. Habs are the cornerstone of ships. They form our interiors, and you cannot build a ship without them. We have a good amount of Habs and Hab types, but what about ones we can customize? What I'm thinking is blank Habs in all sizes, from small 1x1s all the way up to 3x3 Habs. These would be able to be customized much like the apartments that you can buy in the game. This way, if we want to make, say, a 3x1 control room, or maybe even a 3x3 living quarters, or a 1x1 captain's quarters, we're free to decorate these Habs all we want. In the same vein, I'd also want to be able to customize the existing Habs. We should be able to change the decor, or even clean up some of the clutter of the existing Habs. This would add an amazing layer of customization to ships. Now the functionality is already in the game with the apartment customization. Just let us apply it to ships. Now speaking of Habs, the next thing on my list would be to make Habs do something other than just adding crew or passenger spots. I want them to have some sort of functionality to them. The workshop's a great example of how a Hab should be. If you add a workshop or even a science lab, it adds the ability to craft onto your ship. So why not add this functionality to other Habs? For example, the computer core could add to the jump range of the ship. An engineering bay would maybe help with ship repairs. Cargo holds would, shockingly, add actual cargo or give us a boost to cargo space. Maybe the infirmary will let you heal wounds while you're laying in the bed, so those conditions you get like frostbite or broken ankles, if you lay on the bed, it would repair those. Battle stations would improve the targeting or weapon effectiveness or reload speeds. There are so many possibilities that can be explored with this. I think it really just needs to be implemented into the game. Number 3 on my list is structural pieces that can flip in all directions. Now this can be done with mods right now, but it really should be in the game. I find it silly that some pieces can flip and rotate, but others just flip. All structural pieces should be able to rotate on an X, Y, and Z axis. I'd also like Habs to be rotatable as well. Changing the orientation of a Hab would help us builders get in the exact orientation we want inside our ship. My next one is the ability to assign where doors and ladders can go. This is a big one, and I know it's requested by a lot of people in the community. In fact, it probably should be number 1. Nothing is more frustrating to builders than having ladders appear where we don't want them, or doorways that appear at specific spots and take away an interesting feature in a Hab. Now this is easy enough to implement, at least in theory. Give us a function where we can click on a hook point that would normally be a passage like a door or a ladder, and give us the ability to turn that on and off. So, say a Hab has 2 hook points that could be doors. I click on the back hook point, and turn that door assignment off. This would force the door to the front hook point. Same would go for ladder assignments. I would just make it so much better to be able to customize our own paths through the ships. Number 5 on my list is tour the ship while building. This is another popular request I commonly see. It'd be nice if we could enter, say, like a walkthrough mode, where we'd be taken to a virtual landing pad where the ship sits right as we have built it so far. We could then tour the inside of the ship and make sure the layout is exactly how we want to see it, or that the look of the Habs fit our vision for the ship. This, in combination with my last point about being able to assign doors and ladders, will go a long way into improving how we design interior layouts. Number 6 on my list is save builds in progress. Now this would be a nice to have type enhancement, but one that would probably go a long way with the community. As long as the ship is not the home ship, we should be able to leave it in an unflyable state while we're working on it. This would make it a lot easier instead of having to fly around from system to system in a barely usable state in order to gather all the parts we need, or buy unnecessary parts just to make the ship flyable. It would also help players in the beginning who need to save credits to complete their dream ship. In the same idea, it would be nice if we didn't actually have to attach the parts to the ship to exit the builder. The parts would go into, like, say, a parts bin type container, and we can access them later when we do our final assembly. Speaking of parts, number 7 on my list is a filter or a search for the parts list. This would be a small quality of life improvement, but it would definitely help, especially for weapons. Let me filter by weapon type and damage type, like particle beams, lasers, ballistics, turrets, autocannons, missile launchers. Let me filter parts by class. So if I just want to see Class A parts, I can apply a filter. Again, it's just a small change, but one that would definitely help improve the experience of shipbuilding. Number 8 is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but I'd like to see bridges with 2 hook points for attachments. Right now, all ship bridges and cockpits only have 1 hook point at the end to attach to the ship, which means you currently cannot make a ship that's 4 units wide without the bridge being offset. The ship builder either needs to be 1 unit wide or 3 unit wide in order for the bridge to be centered. Now, the cabot would be a good bridge to make this change to, or give us a variation of the cabot bridge. One would be normal configuration with the 1 entry point and the stairs on either side, and another variation would change the configuration so the stairs leading down would be in the middle and we would have 2 different doors where the ladders would be. This would give us the ability to kind of make different sized ships than what we currently have. Again, it's kind of a pet peeve of mine where I like to see pieces symmetrical and centered, but this would go a long way to open up some more designs for us. Number 9 is Class M ships. Now, this is a tough one, as I think Class M ships may be a bit overpowered. But it would be awesome if we could build bigger ships than what the current limitations are. There are plenty of mods that let us do this, but it would be nice to be able to unlock these in the game somehow. Maybe only after a certain number of new game restarts. Say after like NG5, you get a new skill unlocks that lets you work towards building larger ships. Number 10 would be the ability to build a shipyard. Now, this would probably require a DLC, but it would be something that would be absolutely amazing in the game. Similar to an outpost, let us build our own shipyard where we can dock our own fleet of ships. We would build up these shipyards over time, gathering parts and resources, which would actually encourage more outpost building and farming. How you would build it would be similar to how we build outposts. We would fly to a system of our choice, and while we're there, in scanner mode around a planet or a moon, you'd have the ability to place a satellite beacon, similar to the outpost beacon. Once placed, we can access that and have a staryard builder menu with available parts for our level. There could even be a new skill or skills tied to this that would unlock what parts you can access at the shipyard. Like say the first tier would only get you Class A parts available. Tier 2 would be Class B, Tier 3 would be Class C, and Tier 4 would unlock experimental modules. Or it would increase the amount of ships that you can have at your shipyard. So like 2 at rank 1, 4 ships at rank 2, and so on. I could also see there being missions for Nova Galactic, Stroud, Deimos, and so on. Each mission set, which I think would be like the length of the faction quests, would unlock a particular manufacturer for your shipyard. So you complete the Stroud Eklund set of quests, and now Stroud Eklund parts are available to be purchased at your shipyard. Also, like outposts, the shipyard would occasionally be raided by pirates, so you'd need some defenses. Along with building turrets and adding shields to the shipyard itself, you'd be able to assign your ships that are not your home ship as defensive escorts for the shipyard. This would add another layer of usefulness for your fleet of ships and encourage you to build more types of ships and a more variety of ships. The more ships you have, the better defended your yard is. And that is my list for the top 10 things I would like to see in a shipbuilder themed DLC or update. Now there are some honorable mentions. The first one would be, obviously, more parts and more manufacturers. We do have a lot of parts right now, but adding more is always good. Even adding one new ship manufacturer would go a long way to giving us more designs. Another honorable mention would be being able to assign crew to a specific hab. So we could assign, say, Sam, who is a pilot, to the cockpit, or Sarah to the battle station. No more wandering around trying to find them on a big ship, or them all gathering in some sort of useless hab, not acting like a crew. So let me know in the comments, what are the things you want to see improved with the shipbuilder? Do you think Bathesda should do a DLC for specific shipbuilding? And would you fork over real money for a module that included all of this? That's it for me. Remember to like and comment and all that standard YouTube stuff. I'm Team Scorpio, and I'll see you in the next video.